Hello and welcome back to the Gutsphere podcast. I am Bimal Maharjan, the founder of Gutsphere, and today we're diving deep into a topic that is close to my heart and likely close to yours as well. If you have ever dealt with frustrations of constipation, I'm not just speaking to you today as a founder or a host, but as someone who has battled chronic constipation for years and came out on the other side. My journey with chronic constipation has been long and challenging. It's a silent struggle that can easily take over your life, impacting your daily routine, your health, and your overall well being. For me, it wasn't just about finding relief, it was about reclaiming my life and my health. That's why I'm so passionate about this topic and why I founded Gutsphere to create a space where people can find real, effective solutions to their digestive and gastrointestinal health challenges. In today's episode, we are going to tackle one of the most commonly discussed and often misunderstood topics in the realm of digestive health: laxatives. We'll explore what laxatives are, how they work, and the different types available, from over the counter options to natural alternatives that you can use at home. But isn't just a simple guide on laxatives. We will be looking at these through a holistic lens, combining modern scientific and traditional understanding such as Ayurvedic practices. This approach is key to making the information we discuss today not only actionable but also accessible, affordable, preventative, and personalized, tailored to your unique needs. Now, for those of you who have been with us on this journey, you know that this episode is part of an ongoing series. We have already covered a lot of ground talking about the causes of constipation, the importance of diet and lifestyle, and how to navigate the healthcare system when dealing with chronic constipation. If you haven't listened to those episodes yet, I encourage you to check out. They provide a solid foundation for what we will be discussing today. So, why focus on an entire episode on laxatives? Because while they can be incredibly effective when used correctly, they are also one of the most commonly misused in the fight against constipation. Understanding how to use laxatives is essential for managing constipation safely and effectively without causing harm to your body. Today, my goal is to make this topic clear and approachable. I want to provide you with the knowledge you need to make informed decisions. Whether you are considering over the counter options, prescription laxatives, or natural remedies, and as always, we will be grounding everything we discuss in modern science and the life tested, time tested wisdom of Ayurvedic practices. But before we dive in, I want to make something very clear. While the information I'm sharing with you today is based on extensive research and my own personal experience, it's important to remember that everyone's body is different. What works for one person may not work for another. That's why it's crucial to consult with your healthcare provider before making any changes to your health regimen. Personalized advice is always the best path forward. With that in mind, let's get started. And by the end of this episode, you will have a comprehensive understanding of how laxative works, how to use them safely, and the natural alternatives that can support your gastrointestinal health. Whether you're dealing with occasional constipation or a more chronic constipation, this episode is here to equip you with the tools and knowledge you need to take control of your health. As we dive deep into the first chapter of our episode today, we are going to lay a crucial foundation for everything that follows by exploring what constipation really is, both from modern scientific perspective and through the lens of ancient Ayurvedic wisdom. Understanding these perspectives is key to grasping not just how laxative works, but also how we can address constipation in a more holistic and sustainable way. Let's start with basics. Constipation as a term that most of us are familiar with, but it's often misunderstood or oversimplified. Medically speaking, constipation is generally defined as having fewer than 3 bowel movements per week. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. For many, it's not just about frequency, it's about the difficulty and discomfort associated with passing stool. You might have this sensation of incomplete evacuation, hard or lumpy stools, or even a feeling of blockage in the rectum that prevents stool from passing. These symptoms can cause significant discomfort and interfere with our daily life. Now, the impact of constipation on the body goes beyond just digestive system. Chronic constipation can lead to complications such as hemorrhoids, anal fissures, and even more severe conditions like fecal impaction, where stool becomes so hard and dry that it gets stuck in the intestines, requiring medical intervention. But before it gets to that point, the discomfort, bloating, and abdominal pain associated with constipation can affect your mood, energy levels, and overall quality of life. So, what causes constipation? The answer isn't always straightforward because it's often the result of a combination of factors. From physiological standpoint, constipation can occur when the muscles in your colon contract too slowly, causing the stool to move through the digestive tract too slowly, which allows too much water to be absorbed from the stool, making it hard and dry. As you delve deeper into understanding constipation, it's important to recognize that this condition isn't caused by a single factor. Rather, it's often the result of combination of physiological, lifestyle, and even psychological factors, all of which can slow down the digestive process and lead to the discomfort and frustration that so many of us are familiar with. Let's start with one of the most common physiological contributors: diet. A diet that's low in fiber is a major culprit in many cases of constipation. Fiber is essential because it adds bulk to the stool and helps it pass more easily through the intestines. Soluble fibers found in foods like oats, beans, apples absorb water and form a gel-like substance that softens the stool. Insoluble fiber found in whole grains and vegetables adds bulk to the stool and helps it move through the digestive tract more efficiently. Without enough fiber, the stool can become hard, dry, and difficult to pass, leading to the classic symptoms of constipation. Hydration is another critical factor. The colon, or large intestine, plays a key role in absorbing water from the stool. If you are not drinking enough fluids, your body will draw more water after the stool in the colon, making it harder and more difficult to pass. This is the why dehydration is often linked to constipation. Without adequate fluid intake, the stool lacks the moisture needed to move smoothly through the digestive tract. But diet and hydration are just part of the picture. Lifestyle factors are also play a significant role. Sedentary behavior, for instance, can slow down the entire digestive system. Regular physical activity stimulates the natural contraction of the intestinal muscles, a process known as peristalsis, which helps move stool through the digestive tract more efficiently. Without regular movement, these contractions can become sluggish, leading to slower transit time and ultimately constipation. Now let's consider some of the more complex physiological causes of constipation. One of these is known as slow transit constipation, which is a type of constipation characterized by a prolonged delay in the movement of stool through the colon. This condition can be caused by a number of factors, including abnormalities in the nerve or muscle function of the colon. For some individuals, the muscles in the colon do not contract effectively, leading to a significant slowdown in the passage of stool. This type of constipation can particularly be challenging to treat and often requires a multifaceted approach. Another important aspect to consider is gut motility, which refers to the movement of the digestive system and the transit of the contents within it. When gut motility is reduced, food moves through the digestive system or digestive tract more slowly, and this can lead to constipation. Reduced motility can be caused by a variety of factors, also including certain medical conditions such as hypothyroidism or diabetes, which can affect the nerves that control the muscles in the digestive tract. And then there is pelvic floor dysfunction, which is another significant cause of constipation. The pelvic floor is a group of muscles that support the bladder, bowel, and in females, uterus. These muscles also play a crucial role in controlling movements. When there is a dysfunction in the pelvic floor muscles, such as when they do not coordinate properly during a bowel movement, it can make it difficult to pass stool. This condition is sometimes referred to as dyssynergic defecation or pelvic floor dyssynergia, and it can cause symptoms such as straining, incomplete evacuation, and need for even manual assistance to pass the stool. Moreover, constipation can also be a symptom of the underlying diseases. For example, irritable bowel syndrome is a common condition that affects the large intestine and often alternates between the periods of diarrhea and constipation. Neurological conditions like Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, or spinal cord injuries can also lead to constipation due to impaired nerve functions. Additionally, metabolic and endocrine disorders such as diabetes or hypothyroidism can slow down the digestive system and contribute to constipation. And we can't overlook the role that medication play in causing constipation. Many common medications list constipation as side effect, including certain painkillers, especially opioids, which are notorious for causing constipation. Other culprits include antacids that contain calcium or aluminum, iron supplements, and certain antidepressants, and even some blood pressure medications. The mechanisms vary. Some medications slow down gut motility, while others may interfere with the absorption of water in the intestines, leading to harder stools. Another lifestyle factor that contributes to constipation is stress. The gut and brain are closely connected through what's known as gut-brain axis, which means that your emotional and mental state can directly impact your digestive health. When you are stressed, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol, which can slow down digestion and lead to constipation. So chronic stress can exacerbate the problem, creating a vicious cycle where constipation causes more stress, which in turn worsens the constipation. And lastly, we must consider the behavioral aspect of constipation, especially the habit of ignoring the urge to have bowel movement. This can happen for various reasons, such as being too busy, feeling uncomfortable using the public restrooms, or not wanting to interrupt an activity. However, holding it can lead to a decrease in the sensitivity of the nerves in the rectum, which in turn can cause the stool to become harder and more difficult to pass. Over time, this can contribute to chronic constipation. So, as we can see, constipation is not a simple issue with one size fits all solution. It's a multifaceted condition that can be caused by a variety of factors, ranging from diet and hydration to more complex physiological issues like slow transit, reduced gut motility, pelvic floor dysfunction, and even the side effects of medications. Understanding the underlying causes of your constipation is crucial to finding the right treatment and making informed decisions about your health. So that's the modern scientific view. But also, to really understand constipation, we also need to look at it from a more holistic perspective. One that considers not just the physical body, but the mind and the spirit as well. This is where Ayurvedic medicine, a system of traditional healing that has been practiced in India for thousands of years, offers valuable insights. In Ayurveda, digestion is governed by what's known as Agni, or the digestive fire. Agni is considered the source of life, responsible for digesting food, absorbing nutrients, and eliminating waste. When Agni is strong, digestion is smooth and efficient, and the body is healthy. But when Agni is weak or imbalanced, it can lead to various digestive issues, including constipation. Ayurveda also teaches that each person has a unique balance of three dosas or energies known as Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. These dosas govern different functions in the body, and their balance is key to maintaining health. Vata, in particular, is associated with movement and is responsible for the elimination of waste. When Vata is out of balance, often due to stress, an irregular lifestyle, or inappropriate diet, it can cause dryness and slowing of movement in the body, leading to constipation. To give you a more concrete example, if someone's Vata is aggravated, they might experience symptoms like dry skin, anxiety, and constipation with hard, dry stools. On the other hand, if Pitta is imbalanced, you might see more inflammation related symptoms like acid reflux or loose stools rather than constipation. Kapha imbalance might lead to sluggish digestion, resulting in heavy, sticky stools that are difficult to pass. So, how do we bring these perspectives together? By recognizing that constipation is not just a localized issue in the digestive tract, but a reflection of overall state of body and mind. A holistic approach to treating constipation involves more than just taking a laxative or eating more fiber. It's about restoring balance to the entire system. So, from a modern perspective, this might involve dietary changes, increasing fiber intake, staying hydrated, and incorporating regular physical activity into your routine. It also involves stress management techniques such as mindfulness, meditation, or yoga, which helps to calm the body and promote healthy digestion. So, from an Ayurvedic perspective, the approach might be slightly different but very complementary. For example, someone with Vata type constipation might be advised to follow a warm, moist diet with plenty of healthy fats and warming spices like ginger and cumin seeds to stimulate digestion. They might also be encouraged to establish a regular daily routine, incorporating self care practices like Avyana, which is a form of Ayurvedic self massage with warm oil to calm the nervous system and balance vata. Similarly, someone with a pitta imbalance might be advised to avoid spicy or acidic foods that can aggravate pitta and to incorporate cooling, hydrating foods like cucumber, coconut water, and leafy greens. For kapha related constipation, the focus might be on lighting the diet with foods that are warm, dry, and stimulating, along with increasing the physical activity to boost metabolism. And obviously, digestion. So, we have discussed understanding constipation requires us to look at the whole picture, both from the modern scientific viewpoint and through the lens of Ayurveda. It's about recognizing that our bodies are complex systems where physical, mental, and even spiritual factors all play a role in our health. And by integrating these perspectives, we can approach constipation not just as a symptom to be treated, but as a signal that something deeper needs to be addressed. As we move forward in this episode, we will be building on this foundation, exploring different types of laxatives, work within this framework, and how you can use them along with natural alternatives to not only find relief but to restore and balance in your body. Remember, the goal is not just to fix the problem temporarily, but create a lasting health and well being. So stay with us as we continue to explore this essential topic. Up next, we will dive into the world of laxatives, how they work, the different types, and how to choose the right one for you. We'll also look at natural remedies that can be just as effective, if not more so, in promoting digestive health. So I'm Bimal Maharjan. You're listening to the Gutsphere. In this chapter, we are going to dive deep into a topic that's often misunderstood but incredibly important when it comes to managing constipation. Laxatives. Whether you are used them before or are considering using them or simply want to understand more about how they work, this discussion will provide you with a comprehensive understanding of how different types of laxatives, how they function, and most importantly, how to use them safely. So let's start with the basics. What exactly are laxatives? At their core, laxatives are substances that help stimulate or facilitate bowel movements, relieving constipation. They work by different mechanisms to either speed up the passage of stool through the intestines, soften the stool, or increase the frequency of bowel movements. Laxatives come in various forms, including tablets, capsules, liquid powders, and even suppositories. Is designed to address specific types of constipation or individual needs. The role of laxatives is to provide relief from the symptoms of constipation. However, it's important to understand that laxatives are generally intended for short term use, not a very long term solution. While they can be incredibly effective when used appropriately, misuse or overuse of laxatives can lead to dependency and other health issues. That's why it's crucial to have a clear understanding of how each type of laxative works and the appropriate context for their use. So let's break it down. There are five main types of laxatives, each with its own mechanism of action. These include bulk forming laxatives, osmotic laxatives, stimulant laxatives, stool softeners, and 5 lubricant laxatives. Understanding how each of these works will help you choose the right one based on your scientific specific needs and circumstances. First off, we have bulk forming laxatives. These are perhaps the most common recommended type of laxatives, especially for those who experience chronic constipation. The bulk forming laxatives work by increasing the bulk of stool, which helps it pass more easily through the intestines. They are essentially natural or synthetic fibers that absorb water in the gut, forming a soft, bulky stool that can be passed more easily. So, one of the most well known examples of bulk forming laxative is psyllium husk, which is active ingredient in products like Metamucil. Psyllium is a soluble fiber, meaning it absorbs water and forms a gel-like substance in the digestive tract. This not only helps to soften the stool but also adds bulk, which stimulates the natural contraction of the intestines, known as peristalsis, peristalsis, to move the stool along. Other examples of bulk forming laxatives include methyl cellulose and polychlorophyll. It's important to note that when using bulk forming laxatives, hydration is key. These laxatives rely on water to do their job effectively. Without adequate fluid intake, they can actually worsen constipation by making the stool harder and more difficult to pass. So, if you are using bulk forming laxative, make sure you are drinking plenty of water throughout the day. Next, let's talk about osmotic laxatives. Osmotic laxatives work differently from bulk forming laxatives in that they help to draw water into the intestines, softening the stool and making it easier to pass. They achieve this by increasing the amount of water in the colon, which helps to stimulate bowel movements. One of the most commonly used osmotic laxatives is magnesium citrate. Magnesium citrate is an over-the-counter remedy that works by drawing water into the intestines through a process known as osmosis. This increase in water content not only softens the stool but also triggers the colon to contract, helping to move the stool along. For other examples of laxatives include polyethylene glycol, commonly known as Miralax, and lactulose, which is often prescribed for more severe cases of constipation. And osmotic laxatives are generally effective and work relatively quickly, often within a few hours. However, they do come with some potential side effects. Because they draw water into the intestines, they can sometimes lead to dehydration, especially if not enough fluids are consumed. They can also cause electrolyte imbalances, particularly with long-term use, which is why it's important to use these laxatives as directed and not for extended periods without medical supervision. And moving on to stimulant laxatives. These are perhaps the most potent type of laxatives and are typically used when other laxatives have not been effective. Stimulant laxatives work by directly stimulating the nerves in the intestine, causing the muscles of the bowel to contract more frequently and forcefully. This increased muscular activity helps to push the stool through the intestines more quickly. Bisacodyl, found in products like Dulcolax, is the most commonly used stimulant laxatives. Another example is senna, which is derived from leaves of senna plant and is available over the counter in various forms, including tablets and teas. Stimulant laxatives are known for their quick action, often producing the results within 6 to 12 hours. While stimulant laxatives can be highly effective, they are also associated with some risk, particularly with the long-term use. The most significant risk is dependency, because stimulant laxatives force the bowel muscles to contract. Over time, the bowel can become reliant on these external stimuli to function. This can lead to a condition known as laxative dependence, where the bowel loses its natural ability to contract and move stool through the digestive tract without the aid of laxative. In addition to dependency, stimulant laxatives can also cause cramping, dehydration, and electrolyte imbalances. For these reasons, stimulant laxatives are generally recommended for short-term, very short-term use and should be used with caution, especially in individuals who are already at risk of these side effects. Now let's discuss stool softeners, which are often recommended for people who need to avoid straining during bowel movements, such as recovering from surgery, childbirth, and or hemorrhoids. Stool softeners work by helping to mix water and fats into the stool, making it softer and easier to pass. Unlike other types of laxatives, stool softeners don't stimulate the bowel to move. Instead, they focus solely on softening the stool to ease its passes. Docusate sodium, commonly known by the brand name Coles, is one of the most widely used stool softeners. It's gentle and typical works within 1 to 3 days. Because stool softeners don't stimulate the bowel or draw water into the intestines, they are generally considered safe for regular use, particularly in situations where straining could be harmful. However, it's important to understand that while stool softeners can be helpful in certain situations, they are not always effective in relieving chronic or severe constipation on their own. They work best as part of the broader treatment plan that might include other types of laxatives or lifestyle changes, such as increased fiber intake and regular physical activity. Finally, let's talk about lubricant laxatives. These laxatives work by coating the surface of the stool and inside of the intestines with a slippery film, which helps the stool pass more easily to the digestive tract. Lubricant laxatives are typically used when there is immediate need for relief from constipation, as they work quickly, often within a few hours. Mineral oil is the most common lubricant laxative, is available over the counter in both liquid and enema forms. Because it works by coating the stool and intestines, it can prevent the absorption of water from the stool, keeping it soft and making it easier to pass. While lubricant laxatives can be effective for short-term use, they are not without risk. One of the main concerns with the long-term use of mineral oil is that it can interfere with the absorption of fat, soluble vitamins such as the vitamin A, D, E, and K. This can lead to deficiencies over time. Additionally, if mineral oil is aspirated into the lungs, it can cause serious condition known as lipoid pneumonia. For those reasons, lubricant laxatives should be used with caution and only for short periods. So, one other thing that I use daily is I eat a tablespoon or teaspoon of ghee first in the morning. That can also as a very safe lubricant, which is also a natural fat. Now that we have covered different types of laxatives and how they work, it's important to address some of the common misconceptions about laxatives, as well as the potential risks associated with their use. One of the most pervasive misconceptions is that idea that a laxative can be used for weight loss. This is not only inaccurate but also dangerous. Laxatives do not help with weight loss. They primarily affect the colon, not the small intestine, where most of the nutrients and calories are absorbed. The weight loss that might occur from laxative use is mainly due to the loss of water weight, not actual fat loss. This can lead to dehydration, electrolyte imbalances, and potentially life-threatening conditions like cardiac arrhythmias. Another misconception is that the belief that taking laxative regularly is harmless way to maintain regular bowel movements. As we have discussed, prolonged use of certain types of laxatives, particularly stimulant laxatives, can lead to dependency and a decrease in the colon's natural ability to function. This can create a vicious cycle where increasing the doses of laxatives are needed to achieve the same effect, leading to further complications. It's also worth noting that all laxatives, when used improperly or overused, carry the risk of causing electrolyte imbalances. Electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and chloride are vital for many bodily functions, including maintaining proper nerve and muscle functions, hydration, and pH balance. Disrupting these electrolytes through excessive laxative use can lead to serious health issues, including heart problems and muscle weaknesses. So, what's the takeaway here? Laxative can be a useful tool for relieving constipation when used correctly and for the right reasons. However, they are not a long term solution, and their use should be approached with caution. It's important to identify the underlying cause of constipation and to address it with a combination of dietary changes, lifestyle modifications, and, if necessary, the appropriate type of laxative for your situation. And as always, before starting with any new treatment regimen, it's essential to consult with a healthcare provider, especially if you have the underlying health conditions or taking other medications. Personalized advice from medical professional can help ensure that you are using laxatives safely and effectively without putting your health at risk. And in the next part of our episode, we will explore how to personalize laxative use based on your specific needs, as well as the role of the natural and Ayurvedic remedies in promoting digestive health. We'll also discuss how to incorporate these tools into a holistic plan that not only addresses constipation but also supports overall well being. Stay with us as we continue this comprehensive journey into understanding and managing constipation. I'm Bimal Maharjan, and you are listening to the Gutsphere podcast. In this chapter, we are going to delve into the crucial aspect of laxatives use that can often get overlooked: personalization. While we have already covered the various types of laxatives and how they work, it's essential to recognize that laxatives aren't a one-size-fits-all solution. The effectiveness and the safety of laxative use can vary significantly depending on individual factors like age, gender, medical history, and specific health needs. In today's discussion, we will explore how to tailor laxative use to meet these individual needs, ensuring that you are using these tools in a way that's both effective and safe. Let's start by talking about the importance of personalized laxative use. Each person's body is unique, and factors such as age, gender, and medical history can significantly influence how a person responds to different types of laxatives. For instance, the digestive system of a senior citizen is very different from that of a young adult, and what works for one might not work for the other. Similarly, a pregnant woman will have different considerations when it comes to choosing a laxative compared to someone who is not pregnant. Personalization is the key because it allows us to consider the full context of an individual's health rather than just addressing the symptoms of constipation. By tailoring laxative use to meet specific needs, we can maximize the effectiveness of the treatment while minimizing potential risk and side effects. So let's break this down further by discussing laxative use across different populations. We'll begin with one of the most sensitive groups: babies and kids. Constipation in babies and young children is not uncommon, but it requires special care and attention. Their digestive systems are still developing, and the use of laxative needs to be approached with a caution. For instance, for infants, constipation is often related to dietary changes, such as introduction of solid foods or transition from breast milk to formula. In these cases, non-pharmacological methods are usually preferred. For example, ensuring that the baby is getting enough fluids, gently massaging their abdomen, or offering small amounts of water or fruit juice can often help relieve constipation without the need for laxatives. However, when laxatives are necessary, the options are limited and should only be used under the guidance of a pediatrician. Glycerin suppositories are commonly used in infants and young children to provide quick relief by softening the stool and stimulating the bowel. Another option is lactulose, a gentle osmotic laxative that is often prescribed for children. Lactulose works by drawing water into the bowel, making the stool softer and easier to pass. It's important to understand the use and these medications as directed by a healthcare provider to avoid any potential complications. Now, let's talk about laxative use during pregnancy. So, pregnancy can bring about a host of digestive changes, including constipation, which is often caused by hormonal shifts, the pressure of the growing uterus on the intestines, and also by iron supplements commonly prescribed during pregnancy. While constipation can be uncomfortable, it's important to approach the laxative use with caution during pregnancy, not all laxatives are safe for pregnant women. The first line of defense against constipation during pregnancy is typically lifestyle changes, such as increasing fiber intake, staying hydrated, and engaging in a regular physical activity. However, when these measures are not enough, stool softeners like docusate sodium are generally considered safe and can help prevent straining during bowel movements. Bulk forming laxatives such as psyllium are also safe for use during pregnancy and can be effective in increasing stool bulk and promoting regularity. On the other hand, stimulant laxatives such as bisacodyl or senna are generally not recommended during pregnancy unless specially prescribed by a healthcare provider. These laxatives can cause uterine contractions, which may pose risks during pregnancy. So it's crucial for pregnant women to consult with their healthcare provider before using any form of laxatives to ensure that it's safe for both mother and baby. Now let's consider laxative use in seniors. As we age, our digestive systems can become less efficient and constipation can become a more common issue. This can be due to a variety of factors, including reduced physical activity, changes in diet, and the natural slowing of the digestive tract. Additionally, seniors are more likely to be taking multiple medications, some of which can contribute to constipation. For seniors, the choice of laxative needs to be made with particular care, considering the effectiveness and the safety of treatment. Bulk forming laxatives are often recommended as a first line of treatment because they are generally safe and can help promote regular bowel movements by increasing the stool bulk. However, it's important that the seniors drink plenty of water when using these laxatives to avoid the risk of intestinal obstruction, a condition where the stool becomes so hard and impacted that it cannot pass through intestines. Osmotic laxatives such as the polyethylene glycol can also be effective in seniors, especially when hydration is a concern. These laxatives work by drawing water into the colon, softening the stool, and making it easier to pass. However, care should be taken to monitor the electrolyte levels, especially in those who are at the risk of dehydration or have kidney issues. Stimulant laxatives should be used with caution in seniors due to the potential for dependency and the increased risk of electrolyte imbalances. So, in some cases, a combination of stool softener and a stimulant laxative may be used under a medical supervision to provide relief while minimizing risk. Now, let's explore how gender specific concerns can influence laxative choice. While constipation affects both men and women, the underlying causes and appropriate treatments can differ. For example, women are more likely to experience constipation due to the hormonal fluctuations during menstruation, pregnancy, and menopause. These hormonal changes can slow down gut motility, leading to constipation. For women, especially dealing with hormonal related constipation, lifestyle changes such as increasing the fiber intake, staying hydrated, and regular physical activity can be particularly effective. Additionally, bulk forming laxatives or stool softeners may be appropriate, especially during sensitive times such as pregnancy or menopause. It's also important to consider any hormonal medications that might be contributing to constipation and to discuss these with a healthcare provider. Men, on the other hand, are less likely to experience hormone related constipation, but they are more likely to experience constipation related to dietary habits, physical inactivity, and certain medications, such as those used to treat high blood pressure or prostate issues. For men, increasing increasing fiber intake and engaging in regular physical activity are key strategies for preventing and managing constipation. So bulk forming laxatives can be effective, but it's important to pair them with, again, a lot of water, adequate hydration. Osmotic laxatives can also be an option, particularly for those who are dealing with medication related constipation. So we have discussed how to tailor laxative use to different populations, but there is another critical aspect to consider: timing and technique. When and how you can take a laxative can significantly impact its effectiveness and minimize potential side effects. For instance, if you are using a bulk forming laxative, it's best to take it with a full glass of water and to follow up with a plenty of fluids throughout the day. This helps the laxative to absorb water and expand in the intestines, making it easier for the stool to pass. Bulk forming laxatives typically take 12 to 24 hours to start working, so they are best taken at the same time each day, ideally in the morning. Osmotic laxatives, on the other hand, usually work more quickly, often within a few hours. Because of this, they're often taken in the morning so that the effects occur during the day and when you are more likely to be active and can easily access restroom. If you are taking an osmotic laxative before bedtime, be aware that it might cause a bowel movement in the middle of the night, which could disrupt your sleep. Stimulant laxatives are generally taken at night as they typically take 6 to 12 hours to work. This timing allows for bowel movement in the morning, which aligns with the body's natural circadian rhythm and the time when the colon is most active. However, because stimulant laxatives can cause cramping, it's important to be aware of how your body reacts and to adjust the timing if needed. For stool softeners, timing is less critical as they work gradually over 1 to 3 days. The key is to take them consistently, often with meals, to ensure that they are effective in softening the stool and making bowel movements easier. Finally, it's essential to remember that laxatives should not be the only tool in your toolbox when it comes to managing constipation. Combining laxatives use with lifestyle changes can enhance the effectiveness of the treatment and promote long-term digestive health. For example, increasing your fiber intake through fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes can help maintain regular bowel movements and reduce the need for laxatives. Regular physical activities such as walking, swimming, or yoga can stimulate the natural contractions of the intestines and promote healthy digestion. Staying hydrated is another crucial factor. Water is essential for softening the stool and helping it move through the digestive tract. So, aiming to drink at least 8 glasses of water a day and more if you are using a bulk forming or osmotic laxatives. And it's also important to listen to your body's natural signals. When you feel the urge to have a bowel movement, try not to delay it. Holding it can cause the stool to become harder and more difficult to pass, leading to a cycle of constipation. And do not underestimate the power of stress management. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing exercises, and even taking time for hobbies and relaxation can help reduce the impact of stress on your digestive system. Remember, the gut brain connection is strong, and managing stress is a key component of maintaining healthy digestion. So, to wrap this chapter, personalized and holistic use of laxatives is about more than just choosing the right type of laxatives. It's about considering the full context of your health, your age, your gender, your medical history, and lifestyle, and using the information to make informed decisions. It's also about combining laxatives with healthy habits that support your digestive system, from what you eat and drink to how you manage stress and stay active. Remember, laxatives are a tool, not a cure. They can provide relief from constipation, but they're the most effective when used as a part of a broader, holistic approach to digestive health. And always, it's important to consult with a healthcare provider to ensure that you are using these tools safely and effectively, especially if you have underlying health conditions or are taking other medications. And in the next chapter, we'll explore natural and Ayurvedic remedies for constipation. Look at how these time tested approaches can complement modern treatments and support long term digestive health. Stay tuned as we continue this journey forward, understanding and managing constipation in a holistic way. I'm Bimal Maharjan, and you're watching or listening to the Gutsphere podcast. In this chapter, we are going to explore a topic that I know many of you are particularly interested in: natural laxatives and at home remedies for constipation relief. While over the counter laxatives can be effective, they aren't always the best option for everyone, especially for those who prefer more natural approaches to health. Today, we'll dive into fast acting natural remedies, explore Ayurvedic and traditional alternatives, and I will share some practical do it yourself laxatives that you can easily prepare at home. We also compare these natural remedies to their over the counter counterparts, examining their efficacy, safety, and long term benefits. Let's start by talking about natural laxatives that work quickly. When we think of natural remedies for constipation, certain foods come to mind. Food that are not only effective but also safe and easy to incorporate into your diet. These are remedies that have been used for generations, backed by both tradition and science. One of the most well-known natural laxatives is prunes. Prunes, or dried plums, have long been recommended for their laxative effects. They are rich in dietary fiber, particularly soluble fiber, which adds bulk to the stool and helps it pass more easily through the intestines. But what makes prunes especially effective is their high content of sorbitol, a natural sugar alcohol that has an osmotic effect. This means sorbitol draws water into the intestines, softening the stool and stimulating bowel movements. Studies have shown that consuming prunes can significantly increase stool frequency and improve stool consistency, making them a powerful and a fast acting natural remedy for constipation. Another excellent natural laxative is chia seeds. Chia seeds are a true superfood, rich in fiber, omega 3 fatty acids, and various micronutrients. When soaked in water, chia seeds forms a gel-like substance that can help to bulk up and promote the stool, regular bowel movements. The high fiber content, particularly soluble fibers, helps to absorb water in the intestines, making the stool softer and easier to pass. Additionally, the gel-like consistency of a soaked chia seeds act as a lubricant in the intestines, further aiding the passage of stool. Adding chia seeds to your diet is simple. You can mix them into smoothies, yogurt, oatmeals, or simply soak them in water or juice to create chia seed pudding. Flax seeds are another powerful natural laxative that deserve a spot in your pantry. Like chia seeds, flax seeds are high in both soluble and insoluble fiber, which helps to bulk up the stool and promote regularity. But flax seeds have also a unique advantage. They are rich in lignans, a type of phytoestrogen that has been shown to promote digestive health and may even reduce the risk of certain cancers. To get the most benefit from flax seeds, it's best to grind them before consuming them, as whole flax seeds can pass through the digestive system tract without digesting or undigested. You can sprinkle them flaxes on cereal, mix them into smoothies, or even bake them into muffins or bread. Now that we have covered some of the most effective natural laxatives, let's shift our focus to Ayurvedic and traditional alternatives. Ayurveda, the ancient system of medicine that originated in India, has a wealth of knowledge when it comes to digestive health. Many Ayurvedic practices have been used for thousands of years to promote regular bowel movements and relieve constipation, and modern science is beginning to recognize their effectiveness. One of the most popular Ayurvedic remedies for constipation is Triphala. Triphala is a traditional Ayurvedic herbal formulation that consists of three fruits: Amalaki, which is Indian gooseberry, Vivitaki, and Haritaki. Each of these fruits has own unique properties, but when combined, they can create a powerful remedy for digestive health. Triphala is known for its ability to gently cleanse the colon, promote regular bowel movements, and support overall digestive function. And it works as a mild laxative, helping to soften the stool and stimulate movements without causing dependency or any harsh side effects. What makes Triphala particularly interesting is its adaptogenic properties. Adaptogens are substances that help the body adapt to stress and maintain balance. And in the context of the digestive health, this means the triphala not only helps to relieve constipation, but also supports the overall health of the digestive system, making it a valuable addition to holistic approach to digestive wellness. So, triphala is typically taken in powder or capsule form, and it can be consumed with warm water before bed to promote regularity. Another traditional remedy that aligns well with modern science and modern understanding is the use of castor oil. So, castor oil has been used for centuries as a natural laxative. It's derived from the seeds of the castor plant, and its active component, ricinoleic acid, is responsible for its laxative effect. When taken orally, castor oil stimulates the muscles of the intestines, causing them to contract more frequently and forcefully, which helps to move the stool through the intestines. So, castor oil is considered a stimulant laxative, meaning it works relatively quickly, often within 2 to 6 hours. However, because it's potent, it should be used with caution, not on a regular basis. It's also important to consult with a healthcare provider before using castor oil, especially pregnant women, as it can cause uterine contractions. Now let's talk about some DIY at-home laxatives that you can easily prepare using ingredients you likely already have in your kitchen. These remedies are not only effective but also affordable and accessible, making them a great option for those who prefer natural solutions. One simple and effective at-home remedy is a warm lemon water. Drinking a glass of warm lemon water the first thing in the morning on an empty stomach can help to stimulate digestion and promote bowel movements. Lemon juice acts as a natural stimulant for the digestive system, and the warmth of the water helps to kickstart the digestive process. This combination can help to soften the stool and making it easier to pass. Plus, lemon water is hydrating and provides a dose of vitamin C, which is an added bonus for your overall health. Another easy at-home remedy is aloe vera juice. Aloe vera is known for its soothing and healing properties, but it also has a mild laxative effect when consumed internally. Aloe vera juice can help soften the stool and promote regular bowel movements by increasing the water content in the intestines. It's important to choose a high quality pure aloe vera juice without added sugars or any other artificial ingredients. Start with a small amount, such as 1 or 2 tablespoons, and gradually increase if needed. For those who enjoy smoothies, adding a combination of high fiber fruit and seeds can increase a natural laxative effect. For example, if you can blend prunes, apples, and chia seeds with a bit of water or almond milk to create a delicious and effective smoothie that promotes regularity. The fiber from the fruits and chia seeds combined with the natural sorbitol in the prunes can help to soften the stool and stimulate bowel movements. This is a great option for those who prefer a more filling and nutrient dense remedy. Another effective at home laxative is the combination of flaxseed oil and orange juice. Flaxseed oil is rich in omega 3 fatty acids and has a mild laxative effect. When combined with the natural sugars and the fibers in the orange juice, it can help to stimulate digestion and promote regular bowel movements. Simply mix 1 to 2 tablespoons of flaxseed oil with a glass of fresh orange juice and drink it in the morning on an empty stomach. With so many natural remedies available, you might be wondering how they compare to the over the counter laxatives in terms of efficacy, safety, and long term benefits. Let's take a closer look at the differences between these options. One of the primary advantages of the natural laxative is that they are generally gentler on the body and less likely to cause dependency or any harsh side effects. Foods like prunes, chia seeds, and flax seeds work by adding bulk to the stool and promoting regular bowel movements, much like bulk forming laxatives such as psyllium husk. However, because they are whole foods, they also provide additional nutrients and health benefits that over the counter laxatives do not. Ayurvedic remedies like Triphala offers a holistic approach to digestive health, supporting not just regularity but also overall digestive function and balance. This makes them an excellent long-term solution for those looking to maintain digestive health naturally. On the other hand, over-the-counter laxatives, while effective, are often best suited for short-term use. Stimulant laxatives, for example, can be harsh on the digestive system and may lead to dependency if used regularly. And safety is another key consideration when comparing natural and over the counter laxatives. Natural remedies are generally safe for most people when used appropriately, but it's still important to use them in moderation and to consult with a healthcare provider if you have any underlying health conditions or are pregnant. Over the counter laxatives, while convenient, should be used with caution, especially stimulant laxatives, which can cause cramping, dehydration, and electrolyte imbalances if overused. One of the significant long term benefits of natural laxatives is that they can be incorporated into your daily diet as part of the balanced, healthy lifestyle. For example, regularly consuming fiber rich foods like prunes, flax seeds, and chia seeds can help to prevent constipation and support overall digestive health without the need for additional supplements or medications. This makes natural laxatives a sustainable option for maintaining regularity over time. In summary, natural laxatives and at home remedies offer a gentle, effective, and often safer alternatives to the over the counter laxatives. Whether you are dealing with occasional constipation or looking for a long-term solutions to support digestive health, these natural options provide a wealth of benefits without the harsh side effects and that can come with some medications. By incorporating these remedies into your daily routine and pairing them with a healthy diet, regular exercise, and proper hydration, you can promote regularity and maintain a healthy digestive system naturally. As always, it's important to approach any treatment, natural or otherwise, with a sense of balance and mindfulness. Listen to your body. Do not hesitate to seek advice from healthcare provider if you have any concerns or questions. The goal is not just to relieve constipation, but to support overall health and well-being in a way that's sustainable and aligned with your individual needs. In the next chapter, we'll dive into the role of lifestyle changes and managing constipation, exploring how diet, exercise, and stress management can all contribute to healthier, more regular digestive system. Stay with us, and as we continue this journey towards understanding and managing constipation in a holistic and personalized way. I am Bimal Maharjan, and you are watching and listening to the Gutsphere podcast. In this chapter, we are going to shift our focus from remedies to prevention. While finding relief from constipation is important, taking steps to prevent it from occurring in the first place is just as crucial. Today, we will be discussing preventative measures and lifestyle adjustments that can help maintain healthy bowel function and keep constipation at bay. We will dive deep into the role of diet and nutrition and the importance of regular exercise and how managing stress and sleep can contribute to a well-functioning digestive system. We'll also explore how modern practices and Ayurvedic wisdoms can be integrated into holistic approach to long-term digestive health. Let's start with diet and nutrition, perhaps the most fundamental aspects of preventing constipation. A high fiber diet is one of the most effective ways to promote regular bowel movements. Fiber adds bulk to the stool, making it easier to pass, and it also helps to keep things moving smoothly through the digestive tract. But not all fibers is created equal, and understanding the different types of fiber can help you tailor your diet to your specific needs. There are two main types of dietary fiber: soluble and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber dissolves in water to form a gel like substance. which can help to soften the stool and make it easier to pass. Foods rich in soluble fibers include oats, barley, beans, lentils, apples, and citrus fruits. Insoluble fiber, on the other hand, does not dissolve in water and adds volume to the bulk, helping to move it thoroughly through the intestines more quickly. Good sources of insoluble fiber includes whole grains, nuts, seeds, and vegetables like carrots, cucumbers, and tomatoes. And to prevent constipation, it's important to include a variety of both soluble and insoluble fiber in your diet. The recommended daily intake of fiber is about 25 to 30 grams, but most people fall short of this amount. A simple way to increase your fiber intake is to start a day with a high fiber breakfast, such as oatmeal topped with fruits and nuts, or smoothie with the added chia seeds and leafy greens. Throughout the day, aim to incorporate whole grains, legumes, and plenty of fruits and vegetables into your meals. Hydration is another key factor in preventing constipation. Water is essential for keeping the stool soft and easy to pass. When you are dehydrated, the colon absorbs water from the stool, making it hard and difficult to pass. To stay hydrated, aim to drink at least 8 glasses of water a day, more if you're active or live in a hot climate. Herbal teas, and water-rich fruits like cucumbers and melons can also contribute to your daily fluid intake. Now, let's bring in the Ayurvedic perspective. Ayurveda emphasizes the importance of diet in maintaining balance within the body and preventing digestive issues like constipation. According to Ayurvedic principles, the type of diet that's best for you depends on your unique constitution or dosa. The three primary dosas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, and each one has own dietary recommendations to support digestive health. For individuals with Vata constitution, which is characterized by qualities of dryness and coldness, it's important to focus on warm, moist, and grounding foods. Vata types are more prone to constipation, especially when their dosa is out of balance. And to prevent constipation, Vata individuals should include plenty of cooked vegetables, whole grains like rice and quinoa, and healthy fats such as ghee or olive oil in their diet. Warm beverages such as the ginger tea or warm water with lemon can also help to stimulate digestion and promote regularity. Pitta types who have a fiery and intense constitution may be more prone to issues like acid reflux or loose stools, but they can also experience constipation, particularly when they are stressed or overheated. To maintain balance, Pitta individuals should focus on cooling, hydrating foods such as cucumbers, leafy green greens, and melons. It's also beneficial to include a variety of sweet, bitter, and astringent flavors in the diet to soothe the digestive system. Avoiding overly spicy or acidic foods is key for pittas to prevent digestive upset. For kapha types who have a heavy and slow moving constitution, it's important to incorporate light, dry, and warming foods to keep the digestive system active and prevent sluggishness. Kaphas should focus on plenty of fresh vegetables, legumes, and spices like turmeric, cumin, and black pepper, which can help to stimulate digestion. Reducing dairy, heavy oils, and overly processed foods can also help kaphas maintain regularity and avoid constipation. And moving on to exercise and physical activity, regular movement is essential for maintaining healthy digestion and preventing constipation. Exercise helps to stimulate the natural contractions of the intestines, known as peristalsis, which are necessary for moving food through the digestive tract and passing stool. Without regular physical activity, these contractions can become sluggish, leading to constipation. You don't need to be a fitness enthusiast to benefit from exercise. Simple activities like walking, running, swimming, and yoga can be incredibly effective. Walking, in particular, is a great way to get things moving. A 20 to 30-minute walk after meals can help to stimulate digestion and promote regular bowel movements. If you are looking for more structured routine, yoga offers specific poses that can aid digestion, such as twist, forward folds, gentle inversions. These poses help to massage the internal organs and incorporate the flow of blood and energy to the digestive system. In addition to stimulating peristalsis, regular exercise can offer other benefits for digestive health. It helps to reduce stress, improve circulation, and promote overall physical and mental well-being. Exercise also helps to regulate sleep, which, as we will discuss next, is another important factor in preventing constipation. Now, let's talk about stress management and sleep. The connection between brain and gut is well established, and stress can have a significant impact on digestive health. When we are stressed, the body goes into fight or flight mode, which can slow down digestion and lead to constipation. Chronic stress can exacerbate this issue, creating a cycle where stress causes constipation and constipation in turn causes more stress. To break this cycle, it's important to incorporate stress management techniques into your daily routine. Practices like mindful meditation, deep breathing exercises, and progressive muscle relaxation can help to calm the mind and reduce the impact of stress on the digestive health. Taking time for activities that bring you joy and relaxation, whether that's reading, spending time in nature, or practicing a hobby, can also help to reduce stress and support digestive health. Sleep is another critical factor in maintaining digestion. The body's natural circadian rhythm plays a significant role in regulating bowel movements, and disruption to this rhythm, whether from poor sleep habits, irregular meal times, or shift work, can lead to constipation. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night to support the body's natural processes and maintain regularity. Establishing a consistent sleep routine can make a big difference. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time each day, even on weekends. Creating a relaxing bedtime routine, such as dimming the lights, avoiding screens, practicing gentle stretches, can help signal to your body that it's time to wind down. If you struggle with falling or staying asleep, consider incorporating calming herbal teas like chamomile or valerian root into your evening routine. So far, we have covered diet, exercise, stress management, and sleep, all of which are key components of healthy regular digestive system. But truly prevent constipation and support long-term digestive health, it's important to take a holistic approach that integrates these practices into a daily life. From a modern perspective, this might mean creating a balanced, high diet rich in fiber, staying hydrated, engaging in regular physical activity, and managing stress through mindful practices. It also means that being mindful of your body's natural rhythms, listening to your hunger cues, responding to the urge to have bowel movement, and maintaining a regular sleep schedule. From an Ayurvedic perspective, it's about understanding your unique constitution and tailoring your diet and lifestyle to maintain balance within your body. This might involve following specific dietary guidelines based on your dosas, incorporating warming or cooling foods as needed, and practicing and or other forms of movement that support your individual needs. Ayurveda also emphasizes the importance of daily routines or It's called Dinacharya, which includes practices like oil pulling, self massage, and meditation to maintain overall health and well being. The beauty of holistic approach is that it's not just about preventing constipation. It's about supporting your overall health and well being. And by integrating these practices into your daily life, you can create a foundation for a long term digestive health that goes beyond just managing symptoms. It's about creating harmony within your body, mind, and living in a way that supports your natural rhythms and need. Remember, prevention is always better than cure. And by taking a proactive approach to your digestive health, whether through diet, exercise, stress management, or Ayurvedic practices, you can reduce the likelihood of constipation and enjoy a healthier, more balanced life. And as always, if you have any concerns or specific health needs, do not hesitate to consult with your healthcare provider who can offer more personalized advice and guidance. And in our next chapter, we will be addressing a crucial topic that often comes up when discussing laxatives: common mistakes and best practices. We'll talk about the dangers of over reliance on laxatives and why it's so important to address the root causes of constipation rather than just treating the symptoms. I also provide some practical guidelines for using laxatives safely, helping you avoid common pitfalls like taking too much or too often. And finally, we'll discuss when it's time to seek professional help, how to recognize when laxative use is no longer effective, and when it's necessary to consult a healthcare provider for further guidance. Stay tuned as we continue this journey towards understanding and managing constipation in a holistic and informed way. I'm Bimal Maharjan, and you are listening or watching to Gutsphere podcast. As we continue our journey towards better understanding and managing constipation, it's essential that we also discuss the potential pitfalls that can arise when using laxatives. While laxatives can be incredibly effective tools when used correctly, they also carry the risk of misuse, which can lead to constipation complications rather than solutions. In this chapter, we are going to talk about some of the common mistakes people make when using laxatives, the dangers of over-reliance, and the importance of addressing the root causes of constipation. I'll also share some practical guidelines for safe use and explain when it's time to seek professional help. Let's begin with a discussion about overuse and misuse of laxatives. One of the most common mistakes people make is relying too heavily on laxatives as a quick fix for constipation. It's understandable. When you are uncomfortable or in pain, the immediate relief that laxative can provide is very appealing. However, over time, this reliance can create more problems than it solves. Laxatives, particularly stimulant laxatives like bisacodyl or senna, work by stimulating the muscles of the intestines to contract more frequently, help to move stool through the digestive tract. While effective, these types of laxative can cause the bowel to become dependent on them. The more you use them, the more your body might require them to have a bowel movement, leading to a vicious cycle of dependency. Eventually, the natural muscle contractions of the intestines can weaken, making it harder for the body to move stool without the aid of laxative. This condition is often referred to as laxative dependence or laxative abuse. And overuse of laxatives can also lead to dehydration and electrolyte imbalances. Laxative, especially osmotic and stimulant types, can cause the body to lose significant amounts of water and essential minerals such as potassium and sodium. These electrolytes are crucial for maintaining proper muscle function and nerve signaling and fluid balance. When they become depleted, it can lead to a serious health issues, including muscle cramps, irregular heartbeats, and in severe cases, life-threatening conditions like cardiac arrhythmias. It's also important to note that over-reliance on laxatives can mask underlying issues. Constipation is often a symptom of something deeper, whether it's a dietary deficiency, a lack of physical activity, stress, or underlying medical condition. By repeatedly turning to laxatives without addressing the root causes, you are only treating the symptom, not the problem. These approaches can delay proper diagnosis and treatment, potentially allowing the underlying issue to worsen over time. So, how can we avoid these pitfalls? The key is to use laxatives as a part of broader balanced approach to managing constipation rather than relying on them as a sole solution. Here are a few guidelines for safe use. First, always start with the gentlest option. If you're experiencing mild constipation, try increasing your fiber intake, drinking more water, and incorporating regular physical activity into your routine before turning to laxatives. These lifestyle changes can often resolve constipation without the need for medication. And if a laxative is necessary, begin with a bulk forming or stool softening option, as these are generally milder and less likely to cause dependency. Second, use laxatives as a short-term solution. Laxatives should not be used for more than a few days at a time without medical supervision. If you find that you need to use laxatives regularly to have a bowel movement, it's time to consult with a healthcare provider to identify the underlying cause of your constipation and develop a more sustainable treatment plan. Finally, it's crucial to recognize that when it's time to seek professional help. If you have been using laxatives regularly and notice that they are becoming less effective, or if you find yourself needing higher doses to achieve the same effect, this is a red flag. It may indicate that your body is becoming dependent on laxatives. And it's important to address this issue with a healthcare provider before it leads to more serious complications. Other signs that it's time to consult a professional, including experiencing severe abdominal pain, bloating, or rectal bleeding, especially if symptoms occur after using laxative. These could be a signs of more serious conditions such as intestinal blockage or other gastrointestinal disorders that may require immediate medical attention. If your constipation is accompanied by unexplained weight loss, fatigue, or changes in bowel habits that persist for more than a few weeks, it's also important to seek a medical evaluation. These symptoms could be indicative of underlying conditions that needs to be properly diagnosed and treated. To summarize, while laxatives can be an effective tool for relieving constipation, it's important to use them wisely and as part of a comprehensive approach to digestive health. Avoid over-reliance on laxatives by addressing the root causes of constipation, whether that's through dietary changes, increased physical activity, or stress management, or medical intervention. And always be mindful of the signs that it's time to seek professional help. Your health and your well-being are worth it. As we come to the close of this episode, it's time to recap the key points we have covered and provide you with some actionable steps that you can implement right away. We have covered a lot of ground in this series, from understanding the different types of laxatives to exploring natural remedies and preventative measures. My goal here is to leave you with a clear, concise summary of the most important takeaways and set of practical strategies you use to manage constipation very effectively and sustainably. Let's start with a quick recap of the main topics we have discussed. We began by exploring what constipation is and the various factors that contribute to it. Everything from diet and hydration to lifestyle factors like stress and lack of physical activity. Understanding these underlying causes is crucial because it allows us to approach constipation not just as a symptom to be treated, but as a signal that something deeper might be going on in the body. We then dove into the different types of laxatives: bulk forming, osmotic, stimulant, stool, softeners, and lubricant laxatives, each with its own mechanism of action and appropriate use. We emphasized the importance of using laxatives correctly and highlighted the potential risk of overuse, such as dependency and electrolyte imbalances. From there, we move on to the personalized and holistic approaches to laxative use. We discussed how factors like age, gender, medical history can influence which type of laxative is the most suitable for you. We also talked about tailoring laxative use to specific populations, such as babies, pregnant women, seniors, and adults, and how to combine laxatives with lifestyle changes for better outcomes. Natural remedies and at home solutions were another major focus. We explore the benefits of natural laxatives like prunes, chia seeds, flax seeds, and Ayurvedic practices like Triphala, emphasizing their safety, efficacy, and how they can be incorporated into daily routine. We also compared these natural options to the over-the-counter laxatives, discussing their pros and cons. Finally, we addressed common mistakes and best practices where we underscored the dangers of reliance on laxatives and the importance of addressing root causes. We also provided guidelines for safe laxative use and discussed when it's necessary to seek professional help. Now that we have recapped the key points, let's move on to some actionable steps that you can start implementing today to manage constipation effectively. These steps are designed to be practical and easy to integrate in your daily life, whether you are dealing with occasional constipation or looking for a long-term strategies to maintain digestive health. First, prioritize your diet. Make sure you are getting enough fiber. Aim for at least 25 to 35 grams per day. Incorporate both soluble and insoluble fiber into your meals by eating a variety of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds. Remember that hydration is key, so drink plenty of water throughout the day to keep your stool soft and easy to pass. A good rule of thumb is to drink at least 8 glasses of water a day and more if you are physically active or live in a hot climate. Second, stay active. Regular physical activity is one of the most effective ways to promote healthy digestion. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise most days of the week, whether that's walking, swimming, cycling, or practicing yoga. Physical activity helps stimulate the natural contractions of the intestines, which are essential for moving stool through the digestive tract. Third, manage stress and prioritize sleep. Stress can have a significant impact on your digestive health, so it's important to incorporate stress management techniques into your daily routine. Consider practices like mindful meditation, deep breathing exercises, and spending time in nature. Additionally, ensure you are getting enough quality sleep each night. 7 to 9 hours is ideal for most adults. Establish a regular sleep schedule and create a calming bedtime routine to help regulate your body's natural rhythms. Fourth, consider integrating natural remedies into your routine. If you are looking for a gentle, effective ways to maintain regularity. Natural laxatives like prunes, chia seeds, flax seeds can be great options. You might also explore Ayurvedic remedies like Triphala, which not only support bowel movements but also promote overall digestive health. Remember to introduce these remedies gradually and monitor how your body responds. Fifth, use laxatives widely. If you need to use a laxative, choose the gentle option first and use it as a short-term solution. Avoid relying on stimulant laxatives unless absolutely necessary, and always follow the recommended doses. If you find yourself needing to use laxatives regularly, it's time to consult with a healthcare provider to explore underlying causes and develop a more sustainable treatment plan. Finally, sixth, personalize your approach. Every individual's body is unique, and what works for one person may not work for another. Pay attention to your body's signals and be willing to adjust your approach as needed. Whether you're tweaking your diet, experimenting with natural remedies, or exploring different forms of exercise, the key is to find what works best for you. And remember, it's always a good idea to consult with a healthcare provider, especially if you have underlying health conditions or are taking other medications. Personalized advice from a medical professional can help ensure that you are using the right strategies for your right specific needs and that you are not overlooking any potential issues. In conclusion, managing constipation doesn't have to be a constant struggle. By taking a holistic, personalized approach and integrating these practical steps into your daily routine, you can support your digestive health and prevent constipation from becoming a recurring issue. I hope insights and strategies we have covered in this episode and this series empower you to take control of your digestive health in a way that's sustainable and effective. Thank you for joining me on this journey toward better understanding and managing constipation. Remember, your health is an ongoing process, and small, consistent changes you make today can have a lasting impact on your overall well-being. I'm Bimal Maharjan, and you have been listening and watching to the Gutsphere podcast. Take care, and here is to your health. I want to take a moment to look at what's coming next and look forward and talk about the ongoing journey of health improvement. One of the most important things to remember is that health is not a destination. It's a continuous process of learning, adapting, and making adjustments as needed. The strategies that we have discussed throughout this series are tools that you can use, but it's essential to remain open to learning and evolving your approach as you discover what works the best for you. This journey is about more than just managing symptoms. It's about building a foundation for long-term well-being. Whether you are incorporating new dietary habits, experimenting with natural remedies, or finding the right balance of physical activity and stress management, the key is to stay engaged and curious. Keep seeking out new information, be willing to try different approaches, and most importantly, listen to your body. Your needs may change over time, and what works for you now might need to be adjusted as you grow and evolve your health journey. Now, as I continue this journey together, I would love for you to become an active part of Gutsphere community. Your experiences, insights, and questions are invaluable not only to me, but to others who are on a similar path. I encourage you to subscribe to our podcast and our YouTube channel if you haven't already. This way, you will never miss an episode. And if you found today's content helpful, please leave a comment or a review. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more people who could benefit from this information. I also invite you to share your experiences with Gutsphere community, whether it's a success story or a challenge you are facing or a question that's on your mind. Your voice matters. Engaging with each other can provide support, motivation, and new perspectives that can make a real difference. You can connect with us on social media, join our discussions, and even suggest topics that you would like to see covered in the future episodes. This podcast is for you, and I want to make sure we are addressing the topics that matter the most to you. And looking ahead, I'm excited to share that in our next episode, we will be focusing on home remedies for constipation caused by insufficient nutrients, vitamins, enzymes, microbes, and hormones. We'll explore how deficiencies in these critical areas can impact your digestive health and what you can do at home to address them. We'll cover practical, actionable strategies that you can implement to restore balance, improve gut function naturally. It's an episode packed with valuable insights, and I can't wait to dive into these topics with you. So make sure to tune in. You won't want to miss it. Before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for your time and your engagement. I truly appreciate that you have chosen to spend this time with me and the Gutsphere community. And I hope you have found the information and insights shared here valuable. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to podcast and follow us on social media. Staying connected is the best way to continue learning and growing together. And if you know someone who might benefit from this series, please share it with them. Our goal is to reach as many people as possible with this practical, evidence based strategies for better health. As we close today's episode, I want to leave you with this final thought. Your health journey is ongoing, and every step you take brings you closer to a more balanced, vibrant life. Take control of your health, stay curious, and remember that small, consistent changes can lead to big, lasting improvements. You have the power to shape your health and well being one day at a time. Thank you again for being here. I am Bimal Maharjan. You have been listening to the Gutsphere podcast. Until next time, take care and stay healthy.